It was supposed to be a family dinner, the kind where everyone practices normalcy until every sentence becomes a knife. Instead, the table turned into a battlefield. My mother's voice cut through the room. "It's your duty to pay for her wedding." My father slammed his fork down like a gavel. "If you won't, disappear from here forever." Across from me, my sister smiled, not the small, nervous smile that covers hurt, but the kind that enjoys the hurt. I could see it in her eyes. She'd been waiting for this moment. I stood up slowly, calm as glass. The words left my mouth before I could think them. "You have 24 hours to leave." Backstory. Alina had always been the golden child. Perfect grades, perfect hair, perfect lies. I used to defend her. When she stole or lied, she cried and I swept the mess away. That was our pattern. When our parents' business collapsed, I rebuilt it. Quietly, methodically. 12 years of sleepless nights and stubborn work. They called it luck. It wasn't. Alina had other plans. She married rich, left, then returned broke and sharper than before. This dinner was her last play. Secure her future on my back. The discovery came 2 weeks earlier. A ledger gone missing. A client who retracted a transfer bearing my signature. I dug into the accounts and found her fingerprints. At first I assumed mistake. Then I found the messages. Her fiancé, the latest target, wasn't on it. They'd planned to drain the company, buy the house in her name, and cut me out of everything I'd built. The messages called me the perfect idiot. She wasn't entirely wrong. I didn't confront them then. I smiled and played the part they expected, the gullible sibling. While she focused on wedding dresses and guest lists, I quietly dismantled the plan against me. I moved every liquid asset into a trust under my company's name. I rotated passwords, revoked access, and transferred ownership of the family home into my name, a deed my father had signed years ago and conveniently forgotten. I called creditors, arranged legal transfers, set traps that looked like favors. I reached out to her fiancé, pretending to help with the wedding fund. He sent his company details, boasting about the future. I paid his creditors, but in a way that legally transferred the debt to me. Suddenly, both of them owed me without knowing it. The night before the dinner, I invited the fiancé to finalize the payment. He showed up drunk and loud, bragging about the money he'd get when I stepped aside. I recorded everything. By morning, the recording was at the lawyer's desk, the bank, and the family accountant. Alina's wedding fund was frozen. Her fiancé's creditors called his bluff and called in the debt. Dinner night was when the trap snapped. When I said, "You have 24 hours to leave," she laughed, certain I bluff. My phone buzzed, a lawyer notification. She read it. Her smile split. "What did you do?" she whispered. I leaned forward. "I did what you spent your life trying to do. Survive without stealing." I told him the facts. "You drained my accounts. Selena, you set this up to ruin me and fund your wedding. Congratulations. Now it's yours to pay for." Her fiancé's phone rang. The creditors I now controlled. He turned pale. She reached for him. He stood and walked out. No screams, no knife fights, just the soft, terrible sound of 2 lives collapsing into quiet. They left the next morning, 23 hours later. My parents stopped speaking to me for weeks. Then the truth unspooled. Bank calls, legal notices, whispers at family gatherings. Maybe they understood. Maybe they never truly did. I didn't care. Sometimes revenge isn't the goal. The reminder is. The reminder that they never deserved the place they wanted me to vacate. That night I sat alone in an empty dining room. The echo of plates and voices still warm in the air. For the first time in years I smiled. Not because I'd won, but because I'd finally stopped playing the role they wrote for me. They wanted me gone. I made them disappear instead.